Hey there, foodies. Asia, Africa, the Middle East, and Europe. The world is full of great cuisine. But if you want to stay a little bit closer to home and visit still a warm and tropical climate, then you need to go to the Caribbean, man. Or you can let Foodies take you there. Our chef today has been to the Caribbean. He actually is going to prepare for us and show us how to make a Caribbean conch fritter, grilled grouper fish, and tropical slaw salad. So pull up your favorite tropical beverage and break out your flip-flops. It's going to be a fun show. Hey foodies, welcome back. Al Maykel from Evo Restaurant in Worcester is the Caribbean king, the Caribbean culinary king, or the king of Caribbean culinary. However you want to phrase it, this guy knows more about Caribbean cooking than probably most of the residents down there. And he's joining us today on set. He's going to teach us how to make some pretty unusual things that you don't get a chance to watch very often. Al, great to see you today.
Dom, great to see you. Thanks for having me.
So I know you're a real big fan of Caribbean cuisine and you spent pretty sufficient time down there. What is it about it that you love so much?
Well, I love it so much I try to get down there every year. Unfortunately, life and my work schedule don't always allow me to do it, but when I do, it's awesome. And then it's just so simplistic, so fresh, so laid back. You catch your food, you eat it that day. It's for a culinarian and for someone who just looks for peace and relaxation, I couldn't ask for more.
Yeah, it sounds wonderful. It sounds like Italy about 100 years ago. You know? Well, so what do we got planned for today?
Well, today we got some classic dishes. We have a Caribbean slaw, we have fried conch fritters, and we have grilled grouper.
Great. Well, now, we're going to get into every one piece by piece, real easy. And remember, foodies, foodiesofnewengland.com is where you can find Al's method of procedure in terms of how to put everything together and all of the requisite ingredients too. And of course you can watch this whole show in its entirety. Now tell me what we get started with.
Alright, why don't we start off with our cold items. We'll start off with our slaw.
Okay, great.
Alright.
What do we need?
This is a very traditional dish and we'll start off by adding about a tablespoon of sugar into this bowl.
Okay, great. Got some handy?
Yep. Now we're going to add an equal part of apple cider vinegar.
Okay, about a tablespoon.
Yep.
Apple cider vinegar.
Yep. Adds a little bit more of a sweetness to it. Perfect.
Okay.
Now we're going to use about a half a cup of mayonnaise. You can use light mayonnaise, regular mayonnaise, whatever your pleasure is.
Okay, either way. Boy, the apple cider vinegar is pretty pungent.
Okay. Good flavor too. And now we're going to mix that up.
Okay. Whisk is okay?
Whisk is perfect.
That's good.
That's perfect. Now why don't we add a little seasoning to that. We're going to add a couple shakes of cayenne pepper.
Now, does this really depend upon how hot you like it, Al?
You can make it as hot as you like it or as mild as you like it. Down in the Caribbean, they like it hot.
I know you like it real spicy stuff, so.
That's perfect right there.
That's good for you.
And then a little fresh sea salt.
The sea salt happens to be a little bit, just a little bit on the pink side.
Yeah, I thought it might be nice to bring some pink sea salt in reminiscence of the pink sand beaches down in the Caribbean.
Blending in with my shirt. That's great stuff.
I know, right?
Okay.
All right, so now we're going to add a little of this shredded cabbage.
Good, good. You're going to go all the way with this?
Yep, throw it all in there.
Quantity-wise, this is about what?
It's about a quarter of a head shaved.
Quarter of a head? Okay,
yep.
Nice.
And now we're going to use some carrot, fresh shaved carrot.
This is going to be a great salad, Al.
Oh, it's absolutely phenomenal. Now we're going to use some julienne onions. I have Bahamian onions here. If you can't find them, you can use any kind of sweet onion or a Vidalia onion, and those work just fine.
Boy, they smell great, you know?
They're so delicious.
Almost makes you happy you can cry over
them. We're going to add a little fresh chopped pineapple.
This is juicy. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, saw you chopping this up a little while ago.
Yep.
Whole place smelled great.
And some fresh chopped mango.
Mango, the fruit of the Caribbean.
Oh, that's one of the other great things about the Caribbean is the fruit is so fresh, it's so juicy, so much flavor.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable.
We're going to toss it right up.
Yep, we're going to mix all that together.
You know, it's just coincidence, but everything's got such a great color. It actually tastes colorful and it actually looks colorful. Everything emanating right from the bowl. This is great.
That looks great. But you know what? Let's add a little fresh cilantro to it.
Okay.
Kick it up another level.
Absolutely.
You can go even a little bit more on that.
A little bit more?
Perfect.
Okay. Toss that in. Perfect.
All right. That looks great. So why don't we take that? That's it. It's that simple.
I think, wow, that is. That's perfect.
So why don't we take that and throw that in the refrigerator?
Will do.
And while you do that, go a little bowl. And we can start our sauce that we're going to use for our conch fritters.
Oh, okay, great. So we're going to take everything we've got ingredients out here right now and make what we need to make. Sauce for the conch fritters.
Now, this is a very traditional sauce. It's very simple, not a lot to it, but it's got great flavor and it accompanies the dishes very, very well.
Excellent.
So what you're going to do is you're going to use about half a cup of mayonnaise.
Okay, going right back with the mayo.
And we're going to add a cup of ketchup.
We'll fold that right in.
Yep.
Ketchup and mayo.
We're going to add some fresh lime juice.
And there it is. Now, I noticed when you were chopping the lime up, before you did, you actually rolled them out with your hand.
I did. That breaks it up nice on the inside to get the juice out a lot easier than if it was really firm.
Yep.
And we're going to add a little fresh cilantro to that as well.
Okay.
That's good. And we're going to add some hot sauce.
Hot sauce. Okay, how much would you add?
You can use any kind of hot sauce you want. You can use Tabasco, Sriracha, anything that you like. It's really to taste. The Caribbean likes it hot, so I usually put about 12 good shakes in and taste and go from there.
Great.
So let's mix all that up.
Now, you could use a spoon or you could use a light whisk, right?
Yep.
I'm going to go with the spoon until I need the whisk. I'm hoping I won't actually need it.
Nope, just keep going like that. You're doing just fine.
A nice rosy color, and the lime seems to be the prominent scent coming right out of here, Al.
Yes, it's nice when you get into a nice piece of fish with that sauce on there, and you get that nice citrus flavor, and then you get the spice. And
you know what I love about it? I mean, talking to guys like you, chefs like you, everything you make it look so easy, but if you back up and kind of reverse engineer it, all the things that you're putting in this are pretty basic, rudimentary things you can find anywhere or that you have in your kitchen at home. Yep. But nobody would ever think, unless they're a chef, what to put together, what to put with what, you know?
Well, that's what we're around here for.
So we're going to taste it out?
Let's give that a taste and see how it is.
Oh, that's great.
That's right on the money. I feel like I'm in the Caribbean right now.
What are you looking for when you, in terms of balance and things? I mean, what if you, how would you know that you need to put a little bit more of this or that?
I look for a tang right off the bat that you're going to get from your lemon juice.
I got that.
Your lime juice. Then you're going to look for that ketchup-y flavor.
Mm-hmm. That was
and then you're going to look for some heat at the end, and that's your hot sauce.
Well, you could put a little bit more hot sauce if we wanted to.
Yep, you could.
Of course, you would want to.
I would put a little bit more in, but you know what? I think for the general public, that's perfect.
Excellent. All right, so what do we do with this now? Want to keep it chilled?
Why don't you throw that in the refrigerator, and while you put that in the refrigerator, I'll get our oil ready to cook our conch fritters.
Excellent.
To culinary enthusiasts everywhere, there is one icon that rises above all others. One that's been empowering them for more than 70 years. One who continues to establish a new standard of Epicurean achievement. At Thermador, we create products that aren't for everybody, only for those who insist on true cooking performance. Thermador, an American icon.
Hudson Appliance, one of the largest appliance showrooms in New England, brings you vast selections of brand name appliances at low warehouse pricing. The knowledgeable and friendly sales staff will help you find a perfect replacement appliance or guide you through the most difficult kitchen renovations. Come check out the great selection of Energy Star products. Not only will you save money on your utility bills, but you'll save on dishwashers starting at $1.99 and front load washers starting at $3.99. Hudson Appliance for saving, selection, and all your appliance needs.
Hi, Henry Camarsi here from Camarsi Masonry Supply, your home for hardscapes. With retail stores in Worcester and Charlton, we display everything from pizza oven and granite benches to natural stone and drivable grass. Our hours are 7 to 4, Monday through Friday, Thursday nights till 6, and Saturdays 8 to 12. And check us out on the web at Kamasi.com, where you'll find coupons for our newest products that will help save you money on your next home project.
Hey foodies, welcome back. So, our sauce for our fritters is in the refrigerator. Now it was nice, sweet, and tangy with lime juice and some other things we put together in it. And it's accompanying our slaw, which is in there, our tropical slaw. So those things are about ready to go. But what we need to do is get to the meat of the topic. So right now we've got the conch sitting right before us. The conch. It looks familiar. What kind of a fish would you, or shellfish, would you say it's most like?
Very similar to a snail. It's
snail.
a very large version of a snail.
Like escargot.
Yes, exactly. If you've ever seen a conch shell, I'm sure you remember them from people putting them to their ears and trying to hear the sound of the ocean. They have really big, bright, beautiful shells.
Yeah, they are. Very decorative, huh?
Yes.
I think I have one in my house.
Very delicious meat inside, too.
Nice. So, how do you go about fishing this? Now, you treat this kind of like a sportsman would when you go trying to cultivate and find all the conchs. So when you go down to the Caribbean, how do you find these? How do you get them?
It's actually really fun. What we do is we throw ropes over the boat,
Yeah.
and we dive in with our snorkel gear, and we grab onto the rope, and the boat takes off and pulls us behind, pretty much at a trolling speed.
Okay.
And you look down at the bottom, and when you see them crawling along the bottom, you let go of the rope, you dive down, you grab them, you bring them back up, boat swings back around, throw them in the boat, all over again.
That sounds awesome.
It's
That
really
sounds
great.
awesome. A lot of fun in the Caribbean. Catch your own food, like you said, very fresh.
Absolutely.
So if we want to get this underway, we need to actually make our batter. Am I right?
So let's start off with the batter.
Okay.
We have a bowl of all-purpose flour here,
Terrific.
and what you're going to do to this is you're going to add 1 egg,
Got one. Okay.
Perfect.
1 egg.
and you're going to add about a cup of milk.
About a cup, no more. Okay.
We'll start with a cup. If we need to add more, we'll add more later. That looks good.
Okay. That's for you, sir.
All right.
Want to whisk this up, Al?
Yep, whisk that together.
Okay. You know what I like about any kind of food at all that involves getting involved in or putting your time in to catch it, I think it just makes it that much more enjoyable in the end. Likewise, if you screw up the recipe, it just makes it kind of a heartbreak, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just
Not
means you
that
have
you've
to-
ever screwed up a recipe, because I'm sure you haven't.
Just means you have to go out fishing a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, that's actually fun. You were telling me down in the Caribbean that you guys get up early in the morning, you go out and fish, come back home, cook it all up, start the next day with the same routine, right?
Yep. I'm going to add a little bit more flour to this because we're a little heavy.
Okay.
There we go.
Good. So when we get this all whipped up, which it looks like it's
There we
about
go.
ready to go now,
Yep.
how are we going to get these conch pieces chopped up? We're not going to serve them that big, are we?
No, traditionally what they'll do in the Caribbean is they'll take them and they'll pound them with a mallet. It's called
Yep.
crack conch because you can hear it cracking in the background in any kitchen down in the Bahamas.
Sounds brutal.
It is. And what that does is it tenderizes the meat. We're not going to do that today. We're going to go the easy route, which most
Okay.
people want to do at home, and just use a food processor. And that'll chop it up, and it'll make it nice and tender.
Good. Got one handy. So we'll just send them all in there?
Yep.
Sorry, conchs. Any type of food processor would do the trick. I'm just going to pulse it,
Yep.
get them
Let it-
chopped up.
Yep, let it keep going. Want to get them nice and small.
Looking good.
Looking good. Couple more turns. All right, you are good to go.
Okay. I like simplicity.
All right, and what you're going to do is you're going to throw that in there with the spatula. Get that blade out of there.
Yeah, they smell really good too, I have to say.
Very oceanic.
Very oceanic. But you know, not a fishy smell. It smells appetizing. You know, there's a difference between a fishy fish and an appetizing smell for fish. And this kind of has a nice appetizing, salty aroma. It almost smells just like the salt air does anytime you're around the ocean.
Yep.
Okay, so we're good there.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add some chopped celery to that.
Okay. Okay. And again, how much would you add?
The recipes are on Foodies.
Yeah.
You're using probably about 1/4 cup, and then about 1/4 cup of chopped onions.
Which we're putting in right now. And again, foodiesofnewengland.com for your recipes and your, what we call a method of preparation.
That's right. And about the same amount of chopped bell peppers.
A very colorful chopped bell pepper.
Yep, I used red, green, yellow, and orange.
Okay. We're going to fold it in?
Yep, you're going to fold that in.
Okay. Again, just like we talked about with the slaw, everything is very colorful and looks terrific. Smells great too. You can smell that nice grassy bell pepper. And it really kind of accompanies the smell of the conch pretty well too. Gives it a fresh, light, clean aroma coming out of the bowl. Nice.
All right, so what we're going to do now at this point is we're going to add a little bit of seasoning to it.
Okay.
We're going to add a little cayenne pepper.
Okay. And again, to taste, right?
That's right.
And your taste would be about half the bottle?
Not that much.
How's that?
That's perfect.
Good.
And now you can even go a little hotter and add a little red crushed chili pepper.
Oh boy.
Not too much of that.
Looking for trouble.
That's good right there. Now you're going to add a little bit of sugar, just to kind of, or a little salt first.
Okay.
Is fine.
Go with the sea salt first.
Yep. You're going to keep going on that.
This is the pink and white sea salt, reminiscent of Horseshoe Bay in the
Perfect.
Bermuda.
And then a little bit of sugar just to kind of tame down that heat.
So the sweet really tames down the spicy.
It does. It plays with your taste buds.
I love it.
And you're going to mix that up a little bit more.
Okay.
And we'll be ready to go.
Boy, you know, I love the simplicity of the recipes. Like I said, there's a few different ingredients in here. Nothing too difficult to keep track of, especially when you can just print it offline. But the nice thing about it is everything has a really different distinctive taste and smell. It's spicy, sweet, and everything really comes together nice.
All right, beautiful.
Nice.
Okay, so now we're going to take that and we're going to fry it. And we're going to fry it in, I have canola oil here. You can use any other high temperature oil, best for frying. And you want to fry it around 350 degrees. I'm doing this in a combo crock pot fryolator that I have, which is nice because it has a dial that I can set the specific temperature to. If you have just a regular crock pot with a low, medium, high setting, I suggest the medium setting.
Good.
Let it get nice and hot and then go.
A lot of people have a crock pot at home too.
Right.
They're easy to get.
Right. Not a lot of people have fryolators, and they're definitely much more safer because they can control the temperature of oil that you have.
Yeah, you don't want to get too out of hand.
No, it's a lot of fire start. I'm going to use a small ice cream scoop. The smaller the better, that way it cooks evenly.
Sure.
If you don't have an ice cream scoop at home, you can use 2 spoons and just spoon them in. But we have this, so we're going to start dropping in the oil very carefully and slowly because you do not want to splash yourself. And those are going to sink right to the bottom.
And they do.
And they will float when they're ready.
Oh, that's great. So you kind of know when they're cooked because they do tend to bobble up to the top, right?
Yep. And I always crack them open just to make sure, too.
Okay.
And if they're still a little runny on the inside, I drop them right back in the oil.
They should be pretty dense and solid on the inside and nice and crisp on the outside.
That's right.
Typical of a fritter, right, Al?
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you can't get conch, you can substitute things like clams and make clam fritters.
Little neck clams.
Yeah, little clams will work fine, chopped clams.
Sure.
If you really have your heart set on conch, any of your seafood distributors would probably be able to get it for you for a little advance notice.
A lot of foodies like to go off the trail a little bit, like you do. You know, when you're away, you're going places for 3 or 4 days in your vacation location. You're spending a lot of time. And same thing true of foodies. They like to maybe try something different. So if they wanted to chop up some jumbo shrimp, for example, would that be kind of crazy, or would that be something that you could make a fritter with like this?
That would work perfectly. Shrimp fritters, delicious.
You know, people love shrimp. They love lobster. How about a lobster fritter? How about a lobster tail? Buy a lobster tail, chop it up. Nice.
Yep.
While you're thinking over all the different combinations you could achieve with this fritter recipe, we're going to take a quick break. 3 to 4 minutes in this hot oil. We're going to come back and we're going to actually put our grouper on the grill. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Life is full of detours and roadblocks. Sometimes we need those speed bumps to determine our life's purpose. The best way to cope with change is to create it for yourself. Are you prepared to seize the opportunities? I'm Tom Ingrassia. My seminars, workshops, and individual coaching help you develop a roadmap to live into your dreams with vision, courage, determination, and passion. Full speed ahead, speed bumps and all.
Viva Bene, Italian ristorante has the finest food and the best service. In Italy, we say chi mangia bene, vive bene. Who eats well, lives well. Viva Bene is perfect for a night out or just to relax in our new lounge. We also do dinner and theatre packages. Just across from the DCU Center, close to the Footage Theatre and Mechanics Hall. So if you wanted to eat the best Italian food, come over to Viva Bene at 144 Commercial Street, downtown Worcester.
Hey Al, that looks great.
Doesn't it?
That's very colorful. You got all the colors in there too. How do you, look at how nice it looks. How do you know if it's cooked though? I noticed it was bobbling at the top, at the surface. Is that kind of a key?
The fact that it's floating is a good key. The coloring is real good, but if you want to take a quick little cheat, just crack open a little bit like that. See, it's all cooked inside.
All right.
We're good to go.
Shouldn't be too runny, right?
Nope. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it aside.
Okay.
And why don't you grab that grouper?
Yeah, the grilled grouper up next. Okay. This is sort of our main entree, if I'm not mistaken, right, Al?
This is our protein for the protein.
Okay.
Now,
Oh, you guys live well in the Caribbean, don't you, man?
yes, we do. So what we have here is a Nassau grouper, which is a smaller size grouper. There are many kinds of grouper. They come in all shapes and sizes, anywhere from 2 pounds to 600 pounds. They get to be
Wow.
big. So these are smaller ones that you'd find on the reef. They're brownish and white in color. They're really nice, they're really tasty. Very similar to a striped bass, kind of halibut mix.
Yeah.
One of my personal favorite fishes.
It looks like a pink meat. It doesn't look, you know, red like a salmon or white like a tilapia. Kind of in
Nope,
between, right?
kind of in between, yep.
Now, where can you get this around Central Mass? If you want to get a nice fresh one.
You can probably find it at most of your seafood places.
Okay.
If they don't have any, chances are when they go to market they can get some for you. So all it takes is a little asking.
Now, how do we prepare this? This is a kind of simple dish for us to make, isn't it?
We're going to keep this super simple because we have so much else going with it on our main dish.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to salt it. Well,
That's it?
You're going to salt it.
All right.
So
Got some.
just a little tiny bit of salt, and that's all you're going to need.
I got the pink and white Horseshoe Bay Bermuda sea salt.
Perfect. That's it. That's all we need.
That's it. And now it goes on a grill.
Goes right on the
Real
grill.
hot grill.
Nice hot grill. And while we
Outside
go-
grill, indoor, whatever, right? As long as you
Indoor
treat it
or
with some
outdoor.
non-stick
Yep,
spray.
I would put a non-stick spray on it. Little goes a long way. You don't want to overspray it, or
Right.
otherwise it actually will stick on you.
Really?
And why don't we bring this over to the grill?
All right, let's do it.
All right.
There's your spray.
So we have some spray here, and I'm just going to spray the fish real light,
Okay.
and a little quick shot right on the grill, and that's going to go right on there. Now, one thing that a lot of people make the mistake of is they're always touching the fish while it's on the grill. Any kind of fish, whether it be a light fish or a heavy fish, let it be. Let it sit. Let it do its thing, or else it's just going to fall apart on you. You want to cook it on each side, mark it, flip it, let it finish, then you're done.
Great.
Don't check. Let it be. Something this size, 3-4 minutes.
Unbelievable.
Right?
Unbelievable. Look at what you did. Look at what you created.
I didn't even make it. You did.
Yeah, you know, you're the master. Hey, the king of Caribbean culinary cuisine. This was great stuff. And you know what? I think you made it really simple for people to make at home. I think foodies can make this at home from memory. That's the best part.
Incredibly simple,
You
very
know?
delicious, crisp, clean.
Caribbean conch fritters. You've got the grilled grouper, our slaw, tropical slaw salad. That's out of this world. And you know, the only thing that's missing, we need a great beer.
Always.
What do you now? You've been to the Caribbean. What do you drink when you're down there?
We drink Red Stripe.
You like a Red Stripe? I think we got some Red Stripe here. The only problem is I don't have any openers.
I'm a chef. I always have an opener.
Thank God, because
one way or another, we get that open.
For you.
Oh, of course.
Look at that. Don't try this at home, folks.
I'm a trained professional.
See you next time on Foodies of New England.
Cheers.
Oh, smooth. That's got a long finish. That's a
Absolutely.
smooth beer.